Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another week.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, brother? How you brothers been? Let's chop it. We're gonna chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good. We've been
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Just maintain it. Just maintain it, D.
Just maintain it
as it comes. You know what I'm saying? A lot going on out here in the world.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Everybody had a good holiday.
Yeah, man. Just recovering from that too. Still, yeah, man. I just, you just put on that extra 10 pounds, bro. I just feel it, man. I ain't like, it's not like it was before, man. It takes me like a couple of weeks to get some of this stuff off now, man. It's a whole thing, man. It's the food, it's the alcohol, it's the whole situation, man. I was bad this year too, man.
Listen,
I think probably because we didn't go nowhere. I was extra bad, I think.
Yeah.
Man, I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So I gained 10 pounds so quick. It don't matter to me, man. Like I'm always overweight. Man. Yeah, but they said they love. They said the women love Big Papa, so can't help it.
Yeah, we gotta say something, man. Listen, we ain't getting no small. I don't think I'm getting no smaller, brother. I know myself, bro.
Yeah.
Kelvin, how about you, brother? Kelvin, how was your week, man?
I hate to start off the show on a negative note because it seems like I always do that. But I'm having an issue with the natives. And
again.
Yeah, and so it was recently somebody left garbage in front of my house, and that's been like a reoccurring theme. So this time I got a little frustrated, and I wrote a note on the garbage that wasn't too popular with my nieces. They thought it was something that I was against our people. I don't know if I should share what the note said.
Hey, share away, man. Share away.
It was out of frustration. So they leaving bottles of liquor and stuff on my yard, on my lawn. So I wrote a note and put it on a bag and said, "Dear white people, I understand your point now." And so my nieces was upset at me, like, white people do stuff too. Why you acting like we the only ones? And
it
was out of frustration. But at the end of the day, they did come back and clean it up. So, I just didn't listen. I'm like D. I love my people to an extent. And then, so I just want to know if people think I was foul for that. Let me preface this by saying I don't care if people think I was foul for that, but I am curious. How people say they don't care what people think? I do care what people think, just not enough to be governed by it. That's all.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna answer the question though. Thanksgiving was fine. Everything was good. Because I know I'm always foul when I start off wrong, so I apologize.
Kelvin, it looked like you got left back. Like somebody sent you back to school. Like you got, like you're a Saturday, like you're a night school for real.
Let me say this. A lot of people right now, you may not know, but I'm shooting a movie. I'm in Harlem right now. We're on a set. And the movie is called My People Don't Know How to Act. And so right now, that's where you see me at right now. So I'm on location right here, but nothing stops me from chopping it up with the crew, no matter what I'm doing.
That's right.
So that's it. Everything is good.
It looks like you're opening a daycare, Calvin.
Where are you, old man? Man.
Fellas, listen. I know they're gonna get on me for this. I know it's unprofessional. I've got to address this right now. Just leave it on. Listen, hold on. I'm sorry because this is. Listen. No, you decided to marry Jay-Z. That was you. That's what messed us up. All right, I can't talk about it right now, but you made that decision. All right, we gotta live with it. All right, I have to go because I'm doing a show right now. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Shout out to Hart. It was his birthday.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
But go ahead, Ryan. What's up?
Nothing. My week was good. I had a little, few events. As far as the kids was concerned, my daughter got her braces off. My youngest turned 7 this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And then my son's home, so he did a lot of cooking. So we've been eating really good. So like you say, about that 10 pounds, I'm probably up to 12 right now since he's been home.
He's right. His son cooked well because I went over his house and we had we had steaks or something.
We didn't have steaks. You can't just say steaks.
I'm sorry.
We had brazen red wine short ribs. And we had garlic asparagus with mashed potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes.
Okay, so if that's what you had, nobody ever leaves garbage on your lawn then where you live. Okay.
Ron Ron has overcame. He heard the speech. Ron has
overcame.
When Ron lived, when you come on Ron's block, you hear the song "Moving On Up." You know.
Nah.
I had my boy had a birthday this week too, man. Shout out to yours. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah, but now my son does his thing. He does his thing on the cooking tip. He's in the second year of culinary school.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So speaking of children, and everything, man. This week, right? We had I don't know if you guys all saw the Kevin Hart. What he said, what his daughter, a lot of controversy over that. A lot of people getting on Kevin Hart about how he addressed his daughter and her activity. For those that don't know, Kevin Hart's daughter was doing some stuff that he didn't see to be ladylike or represent the family name. So he said she was doing some whole activity. I just want to get you two guys, you have daughters and stuff like. What do you guys think? Well, Ron, you have daughters. Derek, you have boys, right?
Yeah, I got boys, man. I escaped that part, man.
So Ron, I got both. Around man with daughters, you got a lot of kids, right? So with man with a lot of daughters, man.
Yeah, you know what I do on rainy days, baby. But no, the thing is, I think I said it before on one of the other episodes. Dad's job is to raise you to be a lady. Mom's job is to make you a woman. So the thing is too, and we also have to take into consideration that Kevin Hart is a comedian. So, and I always say there's no bad press. So, I think sometimes Kevin Hart intentionally stirs the pot just to get some attention, to draw up, these controversial talks and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know if I would have announced it if my daughter was doing whole activity to the world. But I mean, I would sit down and have a talk with her. I would definitely check her about it. Because like I say, your father's supposed to give you the game and he's supposed to raise you to be a lady, and there's supposed to be certain boundaries you're just not supposed to go past, But I don't see it as something that he did something major, except for maybe announcing it to everybody in the world.
But wasn't it part of a joke though he told on this special though? Because I remember watching the special that he kind of alluded to it and it was part of a joke. And that's kind of where I land on. I'm like, this is job as a comedian to make people laugh and to give of himself, because that's what makes him funny. So you see a comedian say, like, my daughter has whole activity, it allows you to kind of laugh at it a little, because he, you know what I mean? So I don't really know past that. I kind of look at it as him just just telling jokes, man, just giving it.
I'm with you,
and just being a comedian.
I think he's become a easy target, a lightning rod. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think. I mean, basically, those same jokes are going to pay for that young lady to go to school and everything like that. And I think he's done a good job of protecting his kids from the media. I mean, I've heard about them. I don't see them much. And I just think it is. I think it was D.L. Hughley or somebody that said, if a shark eats my child, must have been God's will. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tried to do something to them, I'd fight them. But if it was shark or something, it's natural causes. I mean, he doesn't really mean that. It's just a joke. And I think what we've done, I think we kind of live in this society now where everybody takes stuff too serious. You know what I'm saying? We just joke on stuff like that. That man loves his daughter like anybody else. And so I think it's easy. I think right now we have this era where everybody is looking for something to be offended by, and that gives them their voice. And I think if you have to live like that, man, it's a sad existence.
Yeah. I agree.
I think my thing is like it's the PC generation, all this like political correct stuff and all that. Like it's comedy. We would not have if we didn't tell some dark jokes. We wouldn't have a Richard Pryor. We wouldn't have an Eddie Murphy. You wouldn't have a Chris Rock, even a Chappelle. Like because it's just comedy. It's not. It's like he takes good care of his kids. Most likely, we're not in his house, but 90% sure we know that Kevin Hart loves his kids. He wants custody of his kids. So he's not that kind of dude. It's just like people don't understand it's comedy. I'm just tired of this soft society now when it comes to jokes. I say some crazy stuff. I've been sent to HR, but that's another.
But what do we go to comedy shows for? I mean, I don't go to a comedy show to critique it. Like you go to a comedy show to laugh, and it's just like everybody now wants to go to protest. To me, whatever is said on that stage is fair game. As long as in the context of a joke.
Agreed.
That's the way it used to be. The first person you have to laugh at is yourself. Well, like Dee was just saying, a lot of comedians, they use their families as sources of their jokes or whatever, because let's face the facts, it's funny. Right. And the thing is, people have families, they have kids. So some of those jokes you can definitely relate to as a parent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I agree. People are being a little bit too sensitive today. Everything is so off, hands off and whatever. We got to get back to not being so sensitive today.
Yes, I watched some of those old comedy specials, man, and just to see some of the jokes that hilarious at the time, but to get them off now, man.
Wow. Your career would be over. You'd be getting
yeah. But they were great jokes, man.
Yeah. So, like, all right, another thing that was in the topic this week, man, was if everyone saw this video, it was a restaurant, I think in Texas. I'm not sure it's Houston. I'm not sure if it's Dallas. Can't remember what city it was in. It was a black-owned restaurant. These young ladies were coming to celebrate. Dallas, Texas. Okay, they was coming to celebrate. They just celebrating, maybe a birthday, whatever it was, and they started twerking in the restaurant. They had some trap music on, and the girl started twerking. The owner of the restaurant went over 2 times previous to tell the young ladies, "Hey, keep it down." His third time, he came harsh but direct, and for me, I think it was needed at the time because sometimes, like the natives, like my man Kelvin said, don't understand when you try to come as a humble man, a humble person, So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I haven't seen the video. I still haven't seen the video, but I've heard of it. Obviously, it's all around, and I think, man, from what I understand, he talked to them. He asked them like on 3 occasions. You know what I mean? I went to 3 different tables or something. People were just doing it all over. So, listen. If somebody walks into my house and I tell you sit your behind down, bro, you got to sit down. Get off my furniture. Get off my furniture, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot that goes into you starting your own business. You know what I mean? A lot. You know how it is, man. They get when you're in business, you got to go out. That business gets the best hours of your day. You go to sleep, you wake up. You know what I mean? Refreshed or whatever as best you can, and you go and you give that place your very best. And then to see how people then they have to deal with people kind of come in and doing what they want to do, and I'm sure it's a hard pill to swallow. So if somebody came into my house like this and was disrespecting my home, I would have an issue. I might ask you to be cool for a little while, for as long as I could, because I don't want you to make a scene. It's my home. I respect it. I want you to respect it. So of course I don't want to make the scene. But past the point, man. You know what? It's going to come out how it's going to come out. Then after a while, you know what I mean.
Okay, well, this is the thing. Now, this is a slight difference, obviously, Derek, and I get your point. So we're talking about being in the business, right? And so this is not personal, it's business. And so putting it in context, what he said was, I created this establishment for us. And it seems like when we do something, we want to take ownership and we have a pride for our people and give our people a venue that's nice for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because a lot of times in our community, we're underserved. Our restaurants, they don't even want us to stay in our restaurants in our neighborhoods, just serve you food and get out. So you want to have a nice place where you can go out and have a good time. I go with him on 95% of what he said. The end of it, when he's like, if you don't like it, get the F out my restaurant. I thought that was a bit harsh. I thought that was and I thought that was the part out of frustration, which can happen sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these are patrons and you do want them to continue to patronize the restaurant. But I understand that he was frustrated. Now, to some people's point or perspective, they felt that the music was conducive to that. I don't know that. I couldn't hear the music in it. You know what I mean? And then you have to realize kind of the demographic that you're serving. If you're going to serve a class, now I don't know what time this was, but if it's after the club crowd, or if it's a under 25 years old or under 30-year-old crowd, you may just have, people that don't have the restaurant etiquette. But I gave him credit for that. I think he was trying to make a good point, and I don't knock him for it. But the part about if you don't like it, then get the F out my restaurant. I think as a manager, as an owner, there's a better way to use a different terminology or vernacular when you're talking to patrons, because there's an expression that says the customer is always right. That's not true. The customer just has to be treated like they're right.
Correct. Yeah,
no, I agree with a lot of things both of you guys said. I do think he got passionate, considering what he did for a living, and like Derek said, it takes a lot to invest in a restaurant. Like, I mean, last time I checked, and it's been a while, but last time I checked, for you to invest into a restaurant, you're looking at over $100K. You know what I mean?
Yep, right. Yep.
So basically, from a restaurant from start to finish, you know what I mean? So basically, this guy has a lot invested in it financially. He's got blood, sweat, and tears invested in it. And I think that speech came out of passion. Right. Me personally, some people may not disagree with me. I think the only people that probably really got offended is if you're a twerker. You know what I mean? So the bottom line is, if you're a twerker, you got offended. And if you're not a twerker, then pretty much you probably can relate with where the guy was coming from.
Right.
You know, but yeah, he could have said it in a better way, but I think he probably got passionate in what he does. You know, you just open a restaurant, you're in fear of it, you know,
during
failing.
COVID, man.
During COVID.
Do you understand how hard that is under normal circumstances?
Yeah, correct. Under normal circumstances, it's hard to get a restaurant.
That's one of the hardest businesses you can run.
Yeah.